what's up, Pussycat Dolls? It's me, the real Manos, and I have a comic book review for you. Yeah, it's about a month or two old, but I don't care. I really like it, and I had to fight my schedule and various amounts of depression to record a video, so hey, you're getting it late. But this is a comic that maybe some people skipped because it doesn't really have too much involved in the Spider-Man Beyond plot, so maybe they overlooked it. Well, I'm telling you, you should have not. I totally recommend checking it out. It is, let's see, is it, yes, Mary Jane Black Cat Beyond, #1. This is from Jed MacKay, C.F. Vila. And before I get started, I want to mention that I make comic books too, you know. Red Knight, you can get copies of in print and in digital on manospublishing.com. Check out the link below. Now, let's get going with this comic. And if you're not really up to speed on it, Spider-Man Beyond is basically Peter Parker got put in a coma, and Ben Reilly, his clone, is still around and becomes Spider-Man in his place because he has been backed and bought and paid for by the Beyond Corporation to have their own superhero because it's really good PR, you know? And I have a secret. They kind of were secretly behind Peter Parker getting knocked out. But at this point, that wasn't really very clear. This has a lot to do with Black Cat. Now, it opens up with her visiting Peter Parker in hospital, and they make it kind of clear that people notice her, especially this girl. She is really into her. And she gets in, and she finds Mary Jane all pissed off because she was going to take her place for the watch, and Mary Jane's all pissed because this guy is here, the Hood. He's a villain that Brian Michael Bendis really loved, and I'll get into him in just a minute. I'm not a big fan of the Hood, but boy, he looks really cool with this Vila art. He has this kind of like 90s anime vibe to him, not so much in style, but you know, just kind of a feeling with the hair and the attitude and stuff like that. He looks really cool. So he doesn't care about Peter Parker. As far as he knows, this is just some guy she cares about that she has been visiting in the hospital. So he's like, look, my hood was stolen, which is basically my whole thing. Like, all my magic powers and my name and my whole persona and everything that's worth a shit about me is this magic cape hood thing. And let's see, Hawkeye got rid of it, and I want it back, and I know you can get it back because you're like the best thief in the Marvel Universe. So look, I'm going to kill this guy if you don't get it by the end of the night. So Black Cat does this thing where she goes, okay, I'll do it, but I got to have Mary Jane with me. She's in my crew. And Mary Jane's like, what? She's like, shut up, you're in my crew, remember? She goes, oh yeah, okay, you're right. So he is like, yeah, whatever, fine, go, just get it back or he's dead. And Black Cat goes, okay, good job, you can get going, don't call the police or anything, so hey, I'm gonna go take care of this, you can go and you're free. And she's like, bullshit, like, he's got a gun on Peter Parker, my husband, kind of, and I'm gonna go help you. And she does that. They go to visit first Count Nefaria, who I don't know too much about Count Nefaria, and he's been around a while. All I know is like he looks like an evil Doctor Strange, and he is having this fun night where he's at the water. Let's see, he's at some kind of like shipping docks that he, I think, owns or something like that. And he's having a movie night, which is really fun and cool. So Black Cat shows up and goes, "Hey, look, I know you and Hawkeye got rid of the Hood's hood. I need you to tell me where you got it." And he's like, yeah, maybe if you can give me a few $1 million. And it's like, well, I don't have a few $1 million right now. And he's like, well, that's tough shit. Get it and I'll come back. And Mary Jane like walks up and he goes, holy shit, is that Mary Jane? So he's, of course, as we established in the scene, he's a big movie fan and she is an actress. So he's like, I adore how he just like runs up to her and is like completely simping for her. It's like, hey, okay, what, you need information? Fine. Let me just talk to Mary Jane for a few minutes. Great. Then they go through the night going through a whole bunch of supervillains. I love how they beat the crap out of Shocker because that's what Shocker's for. You beat the crap out of him. And this leads them to Tombstone, who is the last one to have it. He's got it locked up in a safe, and they come up with this really cool plan of kind of bait and switch, because he's kind of expecting her. So they kind of fool him into thinking this was a really kind of sloppy job that Black Cat's going. He chases after her, and it's actually really Mary Jane in disguise, where Black Cat was actually stealing it, ha ha ha, while he was distracted. And the Hood's hood is in this duffel bag, which actually, when they open it, is like a demon shaped like a duffel bag. So he goes, well, look, I really liked eating this thing, and I'm going to keep it, but I'll make you a deal. So they make a deal, and they bring the hood back to him. He puts it on, and then he's instantly eaten by the duffel bag demon? I don't know. I love this expression where Black Cat's all about it, and Mary Jane is like, oh, God, that's awful. So, and also the scene kind of ends with this joke of Peter waking and thinking, man, this is a dream I've had. He's had this dream. There's no way Peter doesn't think about this. So, it ends with this really nice scene, and it's actually some nice character development, because these characters have kind of been at odds for years, and Mary Jane brings up the thing that I've always thought about this. It's like kind of the Betty Veronica of Spider-Man used to be Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy. Like, Mary Jane was the bad girl, Gwen Stacy was the good girl. And then Gwen dies, and Mary Jane somehow got shifted over to the good girl, perfect kind of like category where Black Cat was. And they have a really like interesting discussion about that. I love this book. I highly recommend it. If you can find it, pick it up. The art's really nice. Like I mentioned, all the characters really look on point and really interesting. Yeah, the Hood gets eaten, but I'm sure, look, every character comes back, no matter who it is. And I don't frankly care about the Hood. Like, he's kind of an asshole. And I read all 16,000 comics Brian Michael Bendis wrote for Marvel during the 2000s and 2010s. The only person who cares about the Hood is Brian Michael Bendis. Good God. Like, he would always write him in scenes where he'd show up and they go, oh shit, it's the Hood! He doesn't do anything. Like, who is this guy? Like, no one cares. He's just a guy in regular clothes with a stupid hood on his face and doesn't really do anything, you know? Everyone's like, oh God, no, the Hood! Like, no one cares. This is the first time I've seen him in a while, and he's like a joke character in this because he sucks. But hey, Brian Michael Bendis likes him, so whatever. So it's kind of fun seeing him like kind of eaten. Really, it's good. So this is a very satisfying comic. Highly recommend it. If you're a big Mary Jane or Black Cat fan or both, like I am, highly recommend checking it out. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5 rhyme chips. It's really nice. So, like I mentioned, my comic is also available. You can check it out at manospublishing.com. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm on TikTok, and that's kind of it. And you can support me at patreon.com. The videos here, as well as Manos Publishing as well. I'm a one-man industry, so let's get going with this thing, okay? Well, I think that's it for now, and I'll be talking about newer comics next time you see me. So, push the button, Lindsay.